Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is Felix. Just to give explanations to our PBX scanner. Many have been struggling for trading, and for those of you who are subscriber, pay close attention. For those of you intended to subscribe, equally pay close attention. You agree with me that the whole essence of coming into trading is to make money. And if it's to make money, then if you choose trading, trading is not gambling. It's actually a calculated attempt. And so one of the biggest problem that made us to go in more deeper to research to look at how to come up with important setup and all of that was people are struggling to find an entry and exit. And that's why this kind of was prepared. Now, so I quickly will show you something so that you can understand. Now, I am not condemning anybody ideology, but let's do something that can confuse a lot of people. Let me do something. Um, alligator. Okay. You may cross. Okay. So here may cross. Okay. Then some go ahead and add in, let's say, Ichimoku cloud, right? Some add um what do we call this one? Bollinger. Can you see something? Okay, so now in a situation like this, how do you trade? And I know what people are looking for doing all of this is to find entry, and this is what we call indicator. Yeah, so both predominantly people don't know that they don't need all of those noise in trading. Trust me, you don't need all of this in trading. Can you see the challenge that many are facing in trading? Now, where would you even want to enter? So let's even take out the other first ones, right? Take out. Now, some use this. Okay. So Ichimoku cloud Bollinger Band. Some say, okay, when the market is above the cloud, then you find an entry. Right. So let's even go to 5 minutes as a scalper. Maybe that will be faster, right? So some was okay when the market, or let's hide the Ichimoku cloud and work with Bollinger Band and all of that. Yeah, I think this was fair enough, right? Yeah, so some say when the when the market has closed above, all right, some just give different interpretation. Maybe above the moving average of the Ichimoku cloud, sorry, the Bollinger, then they find an entry. And now sometimes can be very confusing. Then some say when the market come to the lower wall of Bollinger, you buy and sell at the upper wall. Buy at the lower wall, sell at the upper wall. Buy at the, all right. So now that the market is bullish, right? So there are different confusion. Am I saying those indicators are not good? They are, but it can lag. or you probably wouldn't find an entry on time. As at the time, so the question is that, okay, somebody who says when the market has crossed a days, now the question is that where will you put your stop loss? So some have to drag their stop loss here. Now imagine on 1 hour time frame. So how do you trade in this condition? Do you get that? How do you trade in this condition? So sometimes you discover the bigger jumps of the market is gone. Let's say, for instance, somebody who's going to trade here. I think this even Bollinger Band is better sometimes. But, let's take a very choppy market. I can read to see a market that's crazily choppy, right? Let's take Euro USD. Is this somehow choppy? Yeah, something like this. So you'll be struggling where to enter because you say when the market crossed the middle line of the Bollinger Band, that's where you should enter. So you can imagine a man who is entering the market at this point. Where will be his stop loss? Let's look at it to be realistic. So you're taking a trade here, and then you are putting your stop loss here. So where should be your take profit? This 74 pips as your stop loss. Now targeting 1:2 ratio what, for instance? Here. There you go. The market has come here, retracing, and then see if it's collapsing back. Then look at gold. Okay? Look at gold. We have a selling on gold now. So you say until when the market actually crosses here or close above this. So that means you are going to enter somewhere here. What happened? The market has gone far. I don't know if you're getting it now. So now let's go to like 30 minutes perhaps. This is 30 minutes. Okay, when it closes here, imagine gold and where are you going to put your stop loss? So imagine you're taking gold and say when this, now even a candle close, that's what you say, candle close above the middle line is supposed to be your entry based on your Bollinger Band and carry all of that. You're having 3,540 pips as your stop loss. Now you say you are taking profit 1:2 risk reward. This is still very far off, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'm trying to just explain something very important for us. The rice indicator is not good now, but I'm telling you that the way and manner we actually use indicator is actually wrong, okay? It's very, very wrong because we are not maximizing trade as it ought to be. Yeah, so these are some issues that people face when it comes to trading because we either enter late, right, or too quickly. So how will you feel if you have something that, of course, that's why we say PBX scanner is just the best for you. All right? So PBX scanner is just the best for you. Now, one of the T's of the iceberg is that, okay, look at it, for instance. Look at the market here, and then you didn't find an entry. How will it be that you have a scanner that's going to tell you that you should buy? Look at it. How will you feel? You have a scanner telling you to buy, telling you to sell, telling you to buy, telling you to sell, right? How do you feel? Telling you to sell. Can you see the sell here? In 30-minute time frame. Telling you to buy, telling you to sell. Okay? Telling you to buy, telling you to sell. Buy, sell, buy. No? And it doesn't matter what instrument, it doesn't matter what time frame. This is Euro USD. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, how will you feel? Buy, sell, buy. This is not a guesswork, guys. Sell, massive, right? This is March. This is 30-minute time frame, ladies and gentlemen. You see the sell continuing. Powerful, guys. So look at it there. A double top. Yes, fine. For a smart money concept trader, we'll have to wait for this, what we call change of character, right? Or break of structure. Oh, sorry, change of character or market structure shift at the band says your entry. So how do you feel? You have an entry here, it returned back to this point because this is a fair value gap, another block, and then everything here is another flow. Reject that, and then you find an entry. This is what we say about scanner that help you to spot entry and exit, even in crypto. Can you see that? Now, so this is buy, sell, and all of that. But just know that's definitely not all trade you will win, okay? So you give tolerance for losses is part of the trading and all of that. But how do you feel? How do you feel you're already on this sell and then making a profit? Yeah, because I went to lower time frame, that's why this entry was earlier. So how do you feel that, like right now, let's go back here to where the price is now. You're already on 28 pips. How will you feel? Do you get that? Right. So then you go to crypto. So look at Bitcoin. How will you feel that you have taken an entry here on Bitcoin and you're riding the market as it were? How will you feel? Now, without too much confusion, okay? Without too much confusion. It's very, very important. Look at Ethereum. How will you feel? Buying Ethereum here and holding on to your Ethereum. How will you feel? Get that? Now, that's one of the things we encourage and advise people why they have to settle down with their PBX card. Now, so let's take the Bollinger off. So is it bad? I'm not saying it's bad. So let's enable Ichimoku Cloud. Now, can you see now everything just become very clouded? That's the way the name was, right? All right. Now, it doesn't matter what time frame. That's one of the beautiful things about this PBS scanner. All right. So let me take off all of these things that so cloudy and all of that confuse you and create a lot of commotion. That you need simple things, straightforward, clean, plain, straight. Now, what do we do? So they can demarket here and then look at gold. Yeah, so you've sold, right? But market is struggling. But the one thing is that gold, with this small move here now, you've done some good profit already. Okay, so look at Euro USD. All right, can you see that? Look at Euro USD. So imagine your entry here. So how will you feel that this entry that Bollinger or whatever give you, you have gotten an entry earlier? How will you feel? All right, because this was actually now one of our experts said that even the people who are not waiting for confirmation entry, just by getting the signal, because we wait for confirmation, that not waiting for confirmation, the person is going to have 75% win rate. Check out all of those signals. We wait for confirmation, but some people may not wait. Look at, like, for instance, this market says sell. At the close of this candle was here, you sell. Your stop was here, you are making money. Yeah, I know somebody who have passed some people have passed a lot of challenge, 100K, 50K, 10K, 200K, just using the PBS scanner. Look at it here. Look at it here. Okay? And then stop loss here, and then look at it here. Then look at it here. Now we wait for confirmation. The fellow may not wait. Let's go to 1 hour time frame. Can you see that? Look at it here. Look at it. See, sell at the close of this candle is the sell of that person. Look at it. So here he has sold and his stop loss above here. All right. And he's targeting 1:2 risk reward. Yours truly. I will say, I told some person, just experiment. What do you see? Deliver. Massive, right? Okay. Then look at it. This is the signal. At the close of this candle is when the signal told you to buy, right? When it closes, now for those of you who don't wait for confirmation, now that means your entry was here on 1 hour time frame. Look at it, ask you to buy here. Your stop loss here, and then your take profit 1:2 risk reward. Come on, this is already too big. Because the stop loss is very insignificant, about 15 pips or something. Yeah. So 1:2 risk reward is here. You delivered. Then if you go to where this come to, this is, guys, how much is this? This is 1:8 point something risk reward, ladies and gentlemen. And that's about how many pips? 129 pips. All right. This is crazy, right? Here, this one. All right. So this is 1 hour. You probably have not gotten signal here. And I'm going to show you why do we enter this trade? How do you arrive at this trade? All right. Look at gold, right? So here, definitely you have sold here. All right. So then look at this one. Now, those of us who don't wait for confirmation. Now, what is the risk? Yeah, you may make more money. That's the truth. But the risk is that when you're going to hit stop loss, you're going to hit stop loss more, right? Okay, so look at it here. This is the signal. After the close of that signal, you enter, right? Those of you don't wait for confirmation. And so we're going to show the difference, right? All right, so look at it here. 1:2 risk reward. It's already done here. Done deal. Yeah, done deal here. All right. 169, that is 1,670 pips. So if you're trading gold, you know what to do. The 3,400 pips. Then you're good to go. Now sell, right? Then put the stop loss above. And then allow the market to run. Probably market going to run down to this point. Look at the fair value gap over here. But I don't want to complicate to show too much English. We have too many fair value gap. We have the last one down here. So I don't want to sound too many complicated, right? But I'm just showing you straightforward. Take a signal, take a trade, and then allow the trade to run. Simple, right? Now, this is the very simplified way of trading the market with our scanner. Not even know anything. So this I'm analyzing that is from somebody who don't know anything, doesn't know market structure. He doesn't know anything and he didn't even care about whatever market structure is saying. It's none of his business, right? Now look at his signal, say sell. So he sell here because the candle closed. He has to wait for that particular candle to say sell or buy, especially on the higher time frame. And also look at it. He entered here and then the stop loss over here. And 1:2 risk reward. Then come on, look at it. Look at it here. 1:2 risk reward down. How many pips? 50 pips, risking 25, 24 pips, right? Good. This is very crazy, right? Now, this fellow wouldn't see signal here. He wouldn't have bought this any of this market. Probably as it's on 1 hour time frame. Look at this. It's a buy. The close of that candle. He doesn't wait for confirmation. I think sometimes people who do not wait for confirmation eventually make more money, right? Look at it. It says buy. 1:2 risk reward, 20 pips, stop loss, 1:2 risk reward here. Come on, done. That's massive. Now, for people who wait for counter signal, probably a counter signal may occur here. So that means when this counter signal occur as it closes, he's top. That is 1:3.3 risk reward, and that's about 67 pips. If you waited more, and now that is to show here, this signal, that's going to go about how many pips? That's the 101 pips as a profit. That's 1:, almost, let's say 1:, yeah? So 1:5 risk reward, and that's massive. That's on 1 hour time frame. Now on 4 hour time frame, the same thing. Crazy, right? Now look at it. Look at it. Now, those who do not confirm or wait for any confirmation, just the signal come up and closes, then you're gonna do this. Now stop loss here, right? And then take profit on the opposing signal. That's it here. That's about how many 1:1, 1:5 risk reward. And that's 211 pips. Another signal come over, and then he's taking a trade. All right. Taking a trade here at the close of the candle. Okay, so let's go. It's long, not short. Right. So let's take long. And there you go. So what happened? Oh, sorry about that. Okay, yeah, that's it. So it's taking a long position. And here you go. And then the stop loss below here. And ladies and gentlemen, he goes. Do you know that this person has not closed this trade? If he doesn't want to close by until you see a counter signal, but if you did a 1:2 risk reward, that's close and take the profit. What is this telling you that this market is still going to go up? That's simple as possible, right? All right. So anything, any instrument at all, this is crazy. Can you see that? Now, so this one definitely you're going to be stopped out because you can, no, you can't really say, okay, already now still waiting probably for confirmation. Now look at this. This you have already sold. And then look at the buy here. Probably maybe this give a counter signal possible and all of that. Now, getting this now, additional thing we do through that is to add one that will help you to look at a structure. All right. The one that help you to look for a structure. Let's get that. Now, this one help you to locate structure. So quickly pay attention. Very, very important so that you know what you're doing per time. All right, so that's how this kind of work. And now you're taking a trade and all of that. Those of you who are members, who are subscribers and all of that, you know that, if you've been following the instruction, it's very simple. Now, these two combination of these kind of, why do we take it very seriously this way? And why do we have more conviction in the utility and the delivery of this kind of why and how? And then what am I supposed to be doing using this kind of as much as possible? If you look at this now, when this one says sell, it drag you. Because if you understand structure, you now know if this one was very better buy or not a good buy. Do you understand? So at the point, that's what's going to help you. Now, why is this? This is a second confirmation. There is key levels, or you call it support and resistance, whichever one. Now, the market at the middle of not key level can be a little bit dicey, something like this. So that's when you need double confirmation or time frame synchronization. So which I'm going to show to you right now. So, but if you look at this market now, at this key level, then you will have taken a trade and probably on 4 hour time frame without waiting time and all of that because this is currencies. But for gold, we refine so much. Now that means at the close of this, that says sell or buy. Now you could be stopped out separately. So you have to understand if you do not do confirmation. So here, if you look at it, this taking trade now, here will be here, and then the stop loss will be here, right below. That's about 30 pips there, about 1:2 risk. It's already concluded very fast. Then if you're going to wait for the next key level, probably to take profit there, that's going to be 1:3 risk reward, there about 100 and something pips. Now the market returned back here. Now, it didn't perhaps give you a subsequent signal, right? It didn't ask you to um buy again, but it's a buy signal, but you wouldn't know. Why is it a buy signal? The market bands on top of the previous, so this is like a demand zone, support, key level, whatever name you call it. So the market bounce from there. So when this a rejection happen, then that's actually an entry. So this may take you time to wait to find an entry. Now, look at it. This is another one. So when the signal come up and all of that, and then the only thing you wait for the candle to close first before you take a trade. So that means this one was taken here, and then the stop loss below, and then talking of taking 1:2 risk reward was very fast. Waiting for the opposing candle, right? That means the same place, right? Now you see good, but mine is always targeting 1:2 risk reward first, before any other stuff, as it were. Okay, so you can check it out and check all the instruments. It's gonna go that same way. You have different instruments. Look at the entry. Look at it. Now 1 hour, still the same thing, right? Yeah, so this trade you will look up, there's no signal. I'm going to show you how come I took this signal and sell. So what really gave me a front trade to buy or sell. Now here, if you're waiting for just confirmation on 1 hour, that means you are entering the market here. So but at the close of this one, and then so most time when the signal come up like this, maybe at this point that you enter here, instead of taking just your stop loss below the swing low, then you want to take it below the previous swing low. And that's going to protect the account. And then you're targeting 1:2 risk reward. That's going to be here just like at the key level, now, which is like resistance, as it were. And we're going to wait for the opposing signal, probably maybe going to go here, and then you are already selling. So now, or perhaps you're going to sell from here. You're going to close the trade from here, 1:2.5 risk reward. Now, if you're the one that understand what you're doing, so you want to look at the market as it were, or sometime targeting this, the next key level, that's about 1.3 risk reward ratio. Now I'm trying to justify and explain something very important for everybody so that you can understand how powerful this kind of can be, and you can actually pass your challenge, 200K challenge account, 150 challenge account. Good news is that we have different prop firm that you can get involved, and use, even pay after you pass. Yes, just pay $9 to access the prop firm, and then subscribe for the scanner, and then pass your challenge, and now fund your account, pay for the life funded account and continue to trade. Very, very simple. Now, so this is how this scanner actually works. Very massive. Look at Bitcoin and then look at it. So if you go to 30 minutes, they're the same thing, right? So you have this, right? So look at 30 minutes at the key level. So since this happened at key level, you have so lesser stress or burden to, you don't worry so much. Now, so either take this and the stop loss here, and then you're targeting maybe 1:2 risk reward, which is here, or you're targeting up as much as possible, perhaps this swing high, all right? Targeting this swing high, and eventually if you get it, that's going to do 1:4 risk reward, as it were. Now, so I've just shown you the simple kind of explanations of this scanner. It's powerful, it's very phenomenal. People are making it very nice on this scanner, but not everyone understood that it's so powerful this way, because good number of people you have told they thought this one of those hype marketing gimmicks that they listened and hearing about before. Now, this is not brainer. This is not hype. This is the reality. People are killing and making a lot of money using this scanner. Now, so like quickly, those of us who are conservative trader want confirmation. Now, if you're a subscriber, remember we have told you about this, the entry system. All right. Where's this one? All right. So with this summary of the entry, so check daily candle for momentum and daily bias. Then a PBS print buy or sell point on daily time frame. We say go to 1 hour or 30 minutes to take the entry, which means you are a swing trader. Then if the PBS print a signal on 4 hours, all right, then you say go to 15 minutes. This is for day trade, intraday trader. And why is it that? Because on 15 minutes will reduce your exposure, or your stop loss will be reduced drastically. So that's the whole essence. Without that, there's nothing. All right. Then we said if a signal come up on 1 hour, then you should go to 5 minutes to take your entry, which you are a day trader. Then if the signal come up on 30 minutes or 15 minutes, PBS give you signal. Then you go to 5 minutes, 3 minutes, or 1 minute to take an entry. That means you're a scalper. So let's quickly experiment that explanation. Now let's start from daily time frame. So there you will come to a daily time frame. Now, there are a few things like I've not explained to you about this scanner. It has a lot of things. First of all, if you look at the combination of this scanner, it's number one, it gives you what we call key levels. So there are components of this which I've explained that many do not pay attention to. So we have key levels, which help you to identify zone of entry and zone of exit to an extent, right? It gives you structure, right? Give you structure where you'll be able to understand the direction and dimension of the market, as it were. And it give you trend. So, there's difference between trend and structure. So, right? So structure is the different swing point, okay? Which you have high, low, high, and all of those. Those are structure. The trend is actually the direction of the market per time, okay? So then it give you that, then it give you buy and sell entry. What then do you need? Buy and sell entry. So I don't think you need more than this, okay? Because for you to enjoy your buy or sell, then there's a need for you to understand your structure, okay? So these are the major things around this canal and all of that. So if you look at it, not all were activated here, okay? So if you look at it, all were not activated here. How do you mean, Felix? Okay, all were not activated here. I mean, if you look at this structure by structure, then I can still add, okay, I can still add what we call trend line. No, sorry, moving average. So many people trade moving average. So now you can use this now. Now, with this trend line, we still know that the market is bearish on daily time frame. So look at it. I'm not saying I don't have time for those things and all of that. For beginner, not even beginner, somebody who don't have too much time to look at the chart unnecessarily. If not by structure, you already know that it's still a downtrend. Now, so that's one thing. So look at it. We said if the signal come, this signal have said buy since last week on the 13th of March, say buy. So if you look at it, I'm going to do one experiment. Okay, perhaps it's too far. We'll check another one. All right. So if you look at it now, so this market is still bearish, but people have been buying. So you will have seen me saying, okay, the market is bearish, but look at this scanner, give you an entry. So I quickly want to go to any of the signal on daily time frame that says buy on daily time frame. Looking for a buy on daily time frame. Let's go. Recent buy on daily time frame. Oh, either recent buy or recent sell on daily time frame. Okay, so this one is not too recent. So, but if you look at it, okay, let's look for better alternative. The one that's recent, so that will not go far in my chart. Not go far in my chart. So over analysis lead to paralysis, right? Sometimes we say you want to do analysis that does not make sense. Okay, look at this one. Look at this one. Now to do confirmation of entry, Euro card. It say buy, it says sell. I think this was yesterday candle that says sell. Oh, if it says sell, am I to sell? We say go to 1 hour time frame. I really don't take signal of one daily time frame except on a turning point. Now, so what do? I want to mark it so I can take a vertical line to delineate that scanner, that signal. So I go to 1 hour. So if you look at it, when I go to 1 hour, when it says sell, and I go to 1 hour, rather than seeing more of selling structure, I'm seeing buying structure. So that means that signal is not valid. Do you understand? On daily time frame. Okay, so now let's go back to our daily time frame and check other instrument. I want a recent sell or buy for daily. I want a recent buy or sell for daily. Unfortunately, we're not having. So you can see that my job on daily time frame is actually not the buy signal or sell signal I'm looking for on daily time frame. I'm only looking for the candle pattern. Do you understand? So for instance, let's look at gold. For instance, let's look at gold. Though this was a bit confusing, though some of us, there are things we measure that make us to say we bought gold that day and all of that. So, but if you go to on daily time frame, yesterday was bullish, but it didn't close above the previous candle. So you can't predict to say the next day is going to be massively bullish, but it's a tentative stop that, okay, it's bullish, right? That means today you'll be buy and selling because this is not decisive. It neither sweep low, neither take high. So that means it's not too clearer. So since it's not too clear, so you go to 4 hours. Now, in going to these 4 hours, now you saw the one we just sent to you, exactly on gold. If you are trading gold, when the 4 hour signal give to you, you can't just jump in. Look at it. If you just jump in at the close of this candle, for instance, look at where your stop loss is going to be. Come on, that's about 2,570 pips. Where are you going to? Now, look at it. 1:2, 1, you are not there yet. Can you see that? So it doesn't make sense. So for gold, once you see the signal on your structure of 4 hours, what do we say you should do? Step down to 15 minutes straight up. So as you step down to 15 minutes straight up, what you are looking for is the refined signal that was given to you. Now, this is the refined signal. That means this accumulation and distribution. This is where you should be entering from. Am I justified? It's still not realistic for me. I step down to 5 minutes. So do you understand? For gold, you can just refine for a sniper entry and where your stop loss will not be too bogus. Because this stop loss is not realistic. 1,620 pips. That's not realistic. We're talking of gold here. The volume in gold is crazy. So you can finish your money. That's the truth. So that means by now, you have not gotten anywhere. So with that, so I will have to step down to like 5 minutes. for gold, okay? So when I step down to 5 minutes, you can see that you have a signal that was given. So even when you don't want to wait for confirmation of like the third candle confirmation, so maybe you are now say, hey, you know what? I'm taking an entry as this 5 minute signal. So if you don't wait for confirmation, so your stop loss below here, this is more realistic. 560 pips, though even though it's too big, I go to 3 minutes. But this one wouldn't take more time for you to do 1:2 risk reward. As bogus as the stop loss is, so this does not waste too much time. 1,117 pips. 1,170 pips, I'm sorry. And that's what to do. So if I use this time to say, okay, let me go to 3 minutes. So for gold, you have to try and refine to BRS minimum so that you can be more realistic, okay? So if you look at it now, so it's still the same way because you want to wait for confirmation, but you know you got the signal of 4 hours. You're only trying to look for a perfect entry, okay? So you can go to as low as 1 minute. That's one of the things. So for gold. For currencies, you may not wait, you may not step too much down to that extent. So let's go to Euro USD or any instrument at all. You trade with ease. This scanner is powerful. I'm telling you, that's the best recommendation anybody can give to you. So if you go on 4 hours, probably you didn't find a signal. Or if you find a 4 hour signal, so we say go to 15 minutes. If you find a 1 hour signal, we say go to what? How many minutes? 5 minutes to find a trade for sniper entry. I think I need to take another instrument that will give us that 1 hour or 30 minutes. Okay, so let's look at this guy. This is 1 hour. So let's go to 4 hours. Do we have any of such? It's far off. Okay, so let's look at this 1 hour. Now, so that this 1 hour says sell. So instead of just jumping in to say sell, though you can do that. So we said, look at it. This is the signal. You want to go to 5 minutes straight up. So when you go to 5 minutes, you want to see signal again, a refined one, right? That now give you an entry, and that will reduce your, yeah? So that will reduce your bogus whatever. So here, look at it here. I think that 6 whatever, the next minute was '05. So I think 10 minutes after, okay, this is, yes. So 10 minutes after you got this, and then sometime probably you're not there, but you still see that this has given a sell signal confirmation, so you just wait for an opposing candle. So if not, your entry was here, then your stop loss will be more reasonable. So that's how you trade this market. You get a signal on 4 hours, you go to 15 minutes. So let's look at Bitcoin, for instance. Good, fantastic. So look at Bitcoin. Now, this was yesterday. Somebody is still buying and all of that. So let's go to 1 hour. Good. Look at 1 hour for Bitcoin. Here, that was yesterday. Now it give you a buy signal at 6 p.m. or something, local time, GMT.1. Then you go, you mark it out. Then you step down to how many minutes? Somebody tell me. I think it's 1 minute, right? You say 1 minute, you're wrong. If you say 10 minutes, you're wrong. If you say 15 minutes, you're wrong. If you say 30 minutes, you are no wrong. Okay, so 5 minutes. Now, so when you go to 5 minutes, very simple. So what are you looking for? You're looking for a counter, a signal for the same direction. And this has happened. This is what, 5 minutes. Or you can even wait for this candle. This is a confirmation. Normally, we wait for the scanner to give us confirmation, but some that couldn't wait. And then you have to have it in your mindset that if you hit my stop loss, I will wait for another opportunity. Then stop loss about 30 pips. Right, not 30 pips, I'm sorry, 300 and something point, but this is Bitcoin. Then 1:2 risk reward is already done here. If you want to expand, you keep expanding, especially when you have seen that the market had climbed on top of these moving averages. And then that will have made you to trail the market, right, continually as it were. So it's very, very simple. Trading with this scanner is the best option I can ever recommend for anyone, irrespective of what to trade and where you trade, right? Very, very powerful. So if you go to, so if it's 30 minutes, you got a signal, okay? So what do? We go to 5 minute first, right? You go to 5 minute first, then you go to 3 minute. So look at it. So let's go to 5 minute first. So this is not yet fantastic. So you want to go to 3 minute. This is too long. Although if you enter, that means your stop loss below here. So all this coming down will not affect you, and then the market continue to go up. Okay, so this is very simple, and that's how you trade with a scanner. It's very, very fantastic, and you're going to really, really love it. That's the truth. You're going to really, really love it because there is no segregation. So you just face your market or sentiment, no sentiment, sorry, not segregation. There is no sentiment, just practical applications. You apply properly, it pay you very well. You apply wrongly, it dare you very well. Okay, so that is it. That's the secret of this activities here. So you take a trade, allow the trade to run, and then that's all. Okay, so taking signal on this scanner, very, very, very simple. Now, so come to think about, okay, Felix, how do you arrive at taking this trade? Okay, I think you have seen a 30 minute. Then if you look at 1 hour, it's the same thing. So what do we say? So here is gold, and it popped up. So what do? I just go to mark that 1 hour time frame, pop up. And then I step down to 5 minutes. Very simple. So that means, as I've seen that means this is 5. That's around 3 a.m. This is 5, the next minute, 10, 15. Back to, what time is this? 35 minutes after, 40 minutes, that's about 45 minutes after that the next signal prompted. So sometime, like because you're waiting for this, you could just enter or S. So I don't know what prompt this entry, that should be mine, maybe 3 minutes. So if you go to 3 minutes, because maybe I was not seeing the signal I was looking for. And so stepping down to 3 minutes. Remember on gold anyway. And then that's the time. This is change in state of delivery. So I think that also prompted this one. The stop loss above here. That was very more risky because we have fair value gap above, and so that the market could travel to hit and mitigate and all of that. Okay, so that's one of the things. So on a lower time frame, don't just take the signal except you refine down. So on a higher time frame, some just take the signal as it comes, and so that's what it is. Okay, I hope this is well understood. This is a very powerful tool that help you to actually reduce the unnecessary stress and exposure, into difficult time or activities in your trading. Very, very powerful. I'm sure a lot of you have been watching and listening on this scanner. So it's time for you to take action. Stop standing, stay at the fence, take step now and be part of it. Okay. So that's the simple ways we take this signal. And this scanner just give us simple way to trade without stress. When I say we trade without stress, I mean it. That's not gambling. All right. So it's not sentiment, it's not gambling. We don't gamble, we tell you the raw truth. And why? Right now, what you need more is scanner to complete your asset. What an asset? The digital asset of the century is, all right, is number one, mindset, skill set, and tool set. If you have these three, no markets will intimidate you. Mindset, tool set, mindset, skill set, and tool set. I've described this more detail in one of my videos. All right, thank you. So you can see this trading is running now. So while this one too is running, I have this one too running. So this one almost complete the take profit, which about 49 pips, as it were. So thank you very much for watching. You want to get started with us, so you can chat with this phone number +23490 470 44 and 998. Take the number again, +23490 470 470 So subscribe for the scanner right now and then maximize profits taking in the space. So all you do, go to daily, confirm the momentum, then go to 4 hours to see the structure, go to 1 hour to see the structure, okay? And then once it's done, then you want to start taking up activities. That's very simple. So 4 hours, so signals, right? You're going to how many time frame? You're going to 15 minutes to take a sniper. The same thing if you see in 15 minutes, we have said that. But some persons are actually not waiting, they don't have time. So, but you can lose trade. So like if you look at this 30 minutes now, that was good. So some of those persons who don't wait for confirmation. So once this signal shows here at the close of it, because it shows at resistance level, so that's like a rejection. Then they will take another entry. An entry at this point, taking up this and stop loss above there, then targeting the 1:2 risk reward. How many risk reward has this one done now? It's going to 3.55 risk reward. Thank you very much. And then you can see our gold. I sent this signal to our group this morning, and I'm sure a lot are rocking in money right now. Yeah. Thank you, and do have a nice day. So you want to get started, or you can chat with whoever sent you this video to ask him, how do you get started? It's very simple. So you don't give yourself unnecessary stress, because I know that not everybody have the time to learn more detailed analysis, but definitely you need basic analysis. Now, but the joy of it is that if you subscribe for this channel, we'll give you access to our premium group, that is a PBX club, where you learn more. We have 90 days challenge there. You can learn. You want to be more professional in your trading. All right, so that's it. Now take advantage of it and let's ride the market together. You have a nice time. My name is Flix. I'm the team leader of Plan B Express. Thank you.